Alright, so this is going to be the second example, expanding a binomial raised to a power using the binomial theorem. So it says for any positive integer n, a plus b to the n is equal to this. Okay, so you see here's n, our exponent, and that's what's here. This right here is read as combination n choose 0, combination n choose 1, n choose 2, all the way to n choose n. Okay, so this number here, the n, that's this exponent here. And then this number here, the n choose 0, n choose 1, that's going to start at 0 and then go to 1, 2, 3, all the way until we get up to whatever this number is, n. Okay, and then we have, so that's the combinations, and I'm going to show you how to do all this. It'll probably make more sense when we get to the example. All right, and then this term here, a, well, that's raised to the n power. And then you can see the next term, it's raised to the n minus 1, so the power goes down 1. Okay, and then the next a term, the power goes down again. And then it goes down again, all the way until there's not an a term there. Basically, it would be like a to the 0. See, if this were like a 5, then you would have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, and we know that a to the 0 is just 1. Okay, now look at this term here, the b. Notice there's not a b here. It starts here, b to the first, b to the second, b to the third, and then b to the whatever this number is, n. Basically, you can look at it as this would be like b to the 0. So it would start out as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, if that was a 4. Okay, and remember, b to the 0 is 1. And then this right here is just a compact way of writing it as a summation. See, r goes from 0 to n. See, this is your r, and it starts out at 0 and goes all the way to n. See, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to n. Okay. All right, and then here's the factorial. This is combination, this exclamation is n factorial, r factorial, n minus r factorial. That's what the exclamation symbol is. So this is combination n choose r equals n factorial over r factorial times n minus r factorial. So what is factorial? Well, 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And 4 factorial, that's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And just multiply them. So this would be what? 24. And this would be 120. Okay. All right. So and I'm going to show you how to calculate this out by hand. And yes, you can do this on calculator. You can do the combinations on calculators. You can do the factorials on calculators. I'm not going to go over how to do it on a calculator because not everybody has the same calculator, and it might be a little different on some. If you have one of the big TI graphing calculators, look at your user's manual. If you have like one of the little scientific calculators, you know, that might have that little cover on top, take that cover off and look at that card on the inside of the cover. They usually tell you how to do the combinations and the factorials and all that stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the second example. All right, and you might want to go back and write that formula down so you'll have it while we're working the example. All right, so what I want to do first is get a, b, and n. I want to know what those are. All right, so here in this problem, a is equal to the first term. Remember, it's a plus b to the n. Remember, it's in this form, a plus b to the n. So a is 3x. B, see the b, that's 2y. And then the n is equal to 5. Okay. All right. So now, well, let's go ahead and calculate it. So we have 3x plus 2y to the 5th is equal to, okay, so remember it starts out n choose 0, right? Alright, so in this case, n is what? 5. Okay, so instead of n choose 0, it's 5 choose 0. Okay, times a to the n. Well, what's a? That's 3x. So that's 3x to the 5th. And remember what I told you, it's the same as writing b to the 0. Well, remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. And so we just won't write it. Okay? All right, and then that's going to be what? Plus, okay, so plus, and then that's what? N choose 1. Remember, this is 0, 1, 2, the bottom number. Okay, so that's 5 choose 1 times 3 to the x raised, and we take 1 off the exponent, to the 4th, and then times b to the 1st. Okay, remember b to the 1st, so that's 2y to the 1st. And I'm going to show you something else with these exponents when I get it written out. All right, plus, and then that's going to be what? 5 choose 2. Okay, see, r is 0, 1, 2. And that's times a. See, this was a to the 4th, so that's a cubed. And then times b, so that's 2y. And this was b to the 1st, so this is b to the 2nd. Okay. And then I'm going to have to come down here and finish it off. So that's going to be what? Plus combination 5 choose 2 here, so 5 choose 3, times a to the what? This was a to the 3rd, so this is going to be a squared, times b to the what? To the 2nd here, so that's to the 3rd. See, that's 2nd, so now 3rd, plus combination 5 choose 4, and that's going to be a to the 1st. See, this was 2, so this is 1, and then times b. This is b cubed, so this is b to the 4th, plus combination 5 choose 5, and then that's going to be, well, this is a to the 1st, so this would be what? A to the 0. Well, what's a to the 0? A to the or this 3x to the 0, that's just 1, so we're not going to write it down. And then that would be times b. This was b to the 4th, so that's b to the 5th. All right, so there we have it. Now, we need to calculate all these combinations here. I'm gonna calculate a few of them for you, and then I'll let you do. Then you can do the rest of them, because they're all the same. If you can do one of them, you can do them all. All right, so let's see if we can squeeze that in up here, the combinations. So that's going to be what? Combination 5 choose 0. So remember the formula, okay? That's 5 factorial over 0 factorial times 5 minus 0 factorial. Okay, write that formula down from earlier in the video. All right, so this is going to be what? 5 factorial over, well, 0 factorial is 1, okay, and then 5 minus 0 is 5, so that's 5 factorial, and you can see the 5 factorials cancel out, and that gives us 1. All right, so this is going to equal, well, 5 factorial is 1, so that's 1 times, and then this is 3x to the 5th, so we need to figure out what 3 to the 5th is. 3 to the 5th is 243, so 2 times 243 x to the 5th. Okay, plus, now I'm going to go ahead and just write down the answer to combination 5 choose 1. That's just 5. And I'm going to calculate 5 choose 2. Okay, combination 5 choose 1 is 5, okay, times, and then I've got 3x to the fourth. So 3 to the fourth is 81, and then x to the fourth is x to the fourth. All right. So now, let's see, we've got this one calculated, this one done. No, and then we've got what? Times 2y. Okay, times this 2y here. So 3 to the fourth is 81, x to the fourth, and then 2 times y, or 2y to the first is just 2y. Plus, all right, now let me come back up here and let's calculate combination 5 choose 2. So combination 5 choose 2. All right. So that's going to be what? 5 factorial over 2 factorial times 5 minus 2 factorial, which equals 5 factorial over 2 factorial times 3 factorial. Okay. All right. So now, well, we might need to write all this one out. Let's come down here and do it so I have some room. So 5 let me come over here and do it. So I've got 5 factorial over 2 factorial times 3 factorial. So 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 2 factorial is 2 times 1. And 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1. Well, you can see the 3, 2, and the 1's cancel here. And then 2 goes into 4 2 times, and so we would be left with 10. Okay. All right, so combination 5 choose 2, that's 10. And then we have times 3x cubed. Well, 3 cubed is 27. And then x cubed, that's x cubed, times, and then we have 2y squared. So 2 squared is 4, y squared, well, that's y squared. All right, so hopefully that is that'll get you going on the combinations. I'm not going to calculate them anymore because I mean the video is already up over 12 minutes. So let's and I'm going to show you something interesting about the exponents also. Okay, at the end. So just hang around for that. So now I've got 5 combination 5 choose 3. Well, that's 10 also. So that's going to be, let me come down here, plus 10. I'm doing this one now. Combination 5 choose 3 is 10. And then 3x squared, well, that's times 9x squared. 2y cubed, well, that's times 8y cubed. Plus, and then I've got combination 5 choose 4, which that is 5 combination 5 choose 4 is 5, and then 3x to the first, so that's just times 3x, and then times 2y to the fourth. Well, 2 to the fourth is 16, and then that's y to the fourth, plus, and then combination 5 choose 5 is 1, and you can verify that by using that or your calculator. And then 2y to the fifth, well, 2 to the fifth is 32, and then y to the fifth. Okay, so let's see, or let me write the answer and then I'll show you something about the exponents. So this is going to be 243 x to the fifth plus, okay, that's this term. Let's go ahead and I'm going to just scratch that out so I'll know we've calculated that. Now let's do this one. So that's 5 times 81 times 2, which that is 810 x to the fourth y. 5 times 81 times 2 is 810. All right, so we did that one. Now let's do this one. So that's going to be 10 times 27 times 4. So that is 1080, and that would be x cubed y squared, x cubed y squared. Okay, so this one we calculated. And now this one, that's going to be what is that? 9 times 8 is 72, times 10 is 720. Okay, and then x squared y cubed, x squared y cubed, and then this is going to be, so we did this one, and then we've got 5 times 3 times 16, so 15 times 16 is 240, so plus 240, and that's going to be xy to the fourth, so that's xy to the fourth, so that one we calculated, and then here we just have plus 32y to the fifth, and this is your answer. All right, so let me say something here. You can see, you see the pattern. See how the x starts out x to the fifth, so that's an exponent of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then x to the 0 is 1. And then you see how the y is y to the 0. Y to the 0 is 1, and then to the first power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the other thing I want you to notice is, see how this exponent here is a 5? Well, look at this. 4, and this is what? 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. 4 plus, that's understood to be a 1. See, they all add up to 5. All right. So I hope that video helped. I know it was long, but you know, these problems take a little while to work. Give me a like, subscribe, share the video, check out my other videos, and thanks for watching.